Did your mind and what would I do without your smile now?
Ready, set, it's going down.
Stories making the rounds from the various dailies that we have here in Nigeria. My name is Temiloluwa Oyetunde.
And I am Julia Anthony.
And with me here, I have the Punch newspaper.
With me, I have Nation's newspaper.
Alright, let's check out some of the headlines. Biotech firm launches Lassa vaccine trial in West Africa.
PDP okays Elumelu as minority leader.
Bill to decentralize minimum wage divides reps.
NNPC must account for 1.3 trillion illegally deducted in 2017, Rep says.
Pandef condemns Sheikh Gumi's position on headsmen and bandits.
Federal government said US and other developed countries also record school kidnappings.
Post Burate ex-service chiefs to neighboring countries, says Lawan.
Buhari canvasses new cybersecurity strategy.
Alright, WAEC withholds Kano's 70,000 WASP result over death.
Troops says Boko Haram in Unimaid gone duel.
Mieti Allah, others berate Autumn for calling Bauchi governor terror member.
And for the business news, oil to eat $70 in second quarters.
And finally, before we go into the details, Ghana to receive world's first doses of free COVAX vaccine.
Moving on to the sports story, Tiger Woods injured in car crash.
Please stay with us because right after this commercial break, we'll bring you full details of this story.
All the hits, one station.
Yes, Media Academy Radio.
The #1 hit music station.
SCP.com. You got the one antiseptic go. Where they protect our family from yama infection. SCP liquid antiseptic. Oh yeah, make you take up. Clean your mouth. Take a do emergency things. Now multi-purpose liquid antiseptic. They work for many things. Oh yeah, put them for first aid box. If it apply for minor wounds. Papa, mama, picking everybody. Alele no dey imitate body. For personal hygiene talk. SCP na baba.
The Nimet International Pharmaceuticals PLC, they do NCP, now the protection we every home need.
Yes Media Academy calling. The second diet of Yes Media Academy's Media and Communication Training Program begins on 12th February 2021. Are you interested in improving your knowledge and skill in broadcasting, journalism, advertising, public relations, and public speaking? Yes Media Academy is the place for you to acquire the much-needed training. A graduate of the Academy attests to this fact.
My name is Dr. Temiloluwa Bakari. I'm a veterinary doctor with special interest in public health promotion. With my training at Yes Media Academy, my media and communication skills have improved.
That's it. The opportunity is here again. Don't miss it. Obtain your admission form at Yemi Shonde Media House, Yemi Shonde Crescent, off Felele Express Bus Stop, Felele, Ibadan, at 10,000 naira only. The form is also available online at www.ystlimited.com/form. For further inquiries, please call us on 080-999-02666, 0902-9304-704, or 0803-552-9883. Yes Media Academy, for practical training in media and communication.
My name is Latif Adedemeji. I'm an actor. That's what I do for a living. We're taking some automatic here. Show me here. Okay. I'm taking JSC Yes My Radio, the first media academy radio. Now, manage no Madrid, I'm to put a favorite radio. So, take up going to my bumble to Bambason lawyer. Show me here. Yes, my Nicole Magbo, Shutibo, most time break. Uncle Miloni. Oh, Madagon.
Are you there? No. You know me, when I see people that are doing well, I tell them specially, I say, oh, you are doing well. No. But if you know you now want to be doing well specially, you must be listening to Yes Ma Radio. If you are not listening to Yes Ma Radio, you are not doing well. Why? Because Yes Ma Radio is the first media academy radio. You get it now. So you must be listening to Yes Ma Radio. So if you want to be fantabulous, if you want me to freaky your account, listen to Yes Ma Radio. Are you there? All right, you are doing well.
Hi, my name is Anton Lecky, and make sure you listen to Yes Ma Radio, the first media academy radio.
All the hits, one station.
Yes, Media Academy Radio.
The #1 hit music station.
You're welcome back. This is the paper review coming to you live from the studios of Yes Ma Radio. Taking my first story from the Punch newspaper this morning. Biotech firm launches Lassa vaccine trial in West Africa. A biotechnology company, Inovio, says the first participant in Lassa vaccine trial has been dosed in a phase I1B clinical trial for INO 4500, its DNA vaccine candidate for Lassa fever. The clinical trial is being done in Ghana, the firm says, adding that Inovio is focused on bringing to market precisely designed DNA medicines to treat and protect people from infectious diseases and cancer. The Phase 1B clinical trial, LSV-002, ongoing at the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research in Accra, Ghana, is the first vaccine clinical trial for Lassa fever to be conducted in West Africa, where the infection is endemic. Alright, you can check out more details from the pages of the Punch newspaper. Biotech firm launches Lassa vaccine trial in West Africa.
And my first story from the Nation newspaper, PDP okays Elumelu as a minority leader. The leadership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has finally accepted Mr. Ndudi Elumelu as the minority leader in the House of Representatives. The official recognition followed the lifting of the suspension order the party's leadership slammed on Elumelu and others in July 2019. When he became the minority leader against the party's choice of Kingsley Chida. The party's leadership, led by the national chairman, Prince Uche, yesterday met with Elumelu and officially handed to him the mantle of the leader in the minority PDP members' house. PDP okays Elumelu as minority leader.
Alright, still staying with Ghana and vaccines. Ghana to receive world's first doses of free COVAX vaccines. That's credited to UNICEF. Ghana is scheduled to receive today the first shipment of COVID-19 vaccines from COVAX, a World Health Organization-backed effort to procure and distribute inoculations for free to poor countries. UNICEF says, and I quote, "These 600,000 COVAX vaccines are part of an initial tranche of deliveries of the AstraZeneca and the Oxford vaccine licensed to the Serum Institute of India, which represents part of the first wave of COVID-19 vaccines headed to several low and middle income countries." Alright, you can check out more details from the pages of the Punch newspaper as well. It has the headline, Ghana to receive world's first doses of free COVAX vaccines. That's credited to UNICEF.
Moving on, NNPC must account for 1.3 trillion illegally deducted in 2017, Rep says. The House Representative has started the Nigerian National Petrol Corporation must account for the 1.3 trillion naira, which is allegedly illegally deducted from the Federation account in 2017. Chairman of the House Public Accounts Committee, Wale Oke, stated that while quizzing the Accountant General of the Federation and the unauthorized deduction from the federal account and the revenue collecting agency in that year, he said it was improper of the NNPC taking the money without being questioned. According to him, he said that you cannot just take money and nobody asks questions. Even the Accountant General can ask questions. NNPC has to account for this money. It's a lengthy read. You can go check it out on the Punch newspaper, saying NNPC must account for the 1.3 trillion illegal deduction in 2017.
1.3 trillion. Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Even million.
It's a lot.
Alright, so staying with the Punch newspaper this morning, bill to decentralize minimum wage divides reps. Members of the House of Representatives were yesterday, Tuesday, divided over a bill seeking to allow states to individually determine the minimum wage suitable for them. Presently, the federal government maintains exclusive powers to negotiate and determine the national minimum wage for workers across the three tiers of government in Nigeria. On Tuesday, yesterday, a bill seeking an amendment of the 1999 Constitution by removing matters relating to wages from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent legislative list narrowly passed second reading due to the division among the lawmakers on the proposal. When a bill in the House that is making the proposal becomes law, respective states and local governments will be able to determine different wages for their workers, a development that Deputy Speaker Ahmed Wase and some others said would worsen the plight of labor in the state. Leading the debate, the sponsor of the bill, Mr. Garba Datil Muhammad, said respective governments should determine wages in accordance to available resources. After prolonged and heated negotiations between the workers, employers and the government, President Muhammadu Buhari had in 2019 forwarded an executive bill to the National Assembly for amendment of the National Minimum Wage Act. The president signed the bill into law in April 2019, raising the minimum wage from 18,000 naira to 30,000 naira. Some states, however, have been unable to pay the new wage. You can decide to check out more details and read up the full story. It has a headline: Bill to decentralize minimum wage divides reps.
And still on the Nation newspaper, federal government says US and other developed countries also record school kidnapping. The federal government has declared kidnapping of students not peculiar to Nigeria alone. It is stated that even developed nations, including the United States, also experience school kidnapping. Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed stated this on Monday while featuring on a television station. He said even most developed countries of the world, school kidnapping also takes place. Last year in the US, we all witnessed three or four schools kidnappings, and that is probably one of the most developed countries in the world. The thing about terrorism is that terrorists do not live by your own rules. They are especially interested in the soft target. They know what to do, and what is going on, getting the global attention, is kidnapping school children. We must be careful. We can't turn all our schools into barracks. What is most important is intelligence gathering, surveillance, rather than the physical presence of the soldier. Federal government says, the Nation newspaper.
And on the issue of insecurity, Pandef condemns Sheikh Gumi's position on headsmen and bandits. The Pan-Niger Delta Forum has criticized renowned Islamic scholar Sheikh Ahmed Abubakar Gumi for referring to killer headsmen and bandits as militants fighting for ethnic survival, describing the cleric's position as annoying. Pandef expressed surprise that Gumi had the effrontery to say that killer headsmen and murderous bandits should not be referred to as criminals. The National Policy Secretary of the Forum, Mr. Ken Robinson, in a statement yesterday Tuesday said, and I quote, "It is unfortunate that the nation should be hearing one absurd statement or the other from this man every day." He further said it is high time that the media stopped giving him attention. He is nothing other than an eccentric bigot dressed in a cleric's toga. It is vexing that he would have the effrontery to say killer headsmen and the numerous bandits should not be referred to as criminals, but militants fighting an ethnic war and fighting for their existence. He further said Nigeria has never experienced the kind of nepotism and prejudice being perpetrated under the Buhari administration. All bullocks and marginal fields in Niger Delta have ever been mostly exploited by northerners. He said the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has become a grazing ground for a few. Robinson then called on Nigerians to be on alert over Gumi's statement, lamenting that the current regime of President Muhammadu Buhari had continued to play deaf and dumb to the concerns of well-meaning Nigerians in the interest of peace and unity in the country. Pandef condemns Sheikh Gumi's position on headsmen and bandits.
Still on the Nation newspaper, Buhari canvasses new cybersecurity strategy. President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday urged the National Security Advisor to adopt a new cybersecurity coordination strategy. It said the new approach must focus on exploring the internet for economic growth opportunities, enhancement of knowledge, and mitigation of the crime. The president spoke at the launch, saying the Cybersecurity Policy and Strategy (NCPS) in 2021, held at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. He said, and I quote, I urge the National Security Advisor to continue to coordinate the efforts of the stakeholders to ensure that our internet and cyberspace are used for enhancement of the national security and economic progression. I am confident that together we can pave the way for creation of the new opportunities to usher Nigeria into a bright nation driven by a prosperous cyber and digital economy. Buhari canvasses new cybersecurity strategy.
Jonathan meets 15 Gambian party leaders in Abuja. Former President Goodluck Jonathan is hosting a 3-day brainstorming session with leaders of the 15 main political parties from Gambia as part of effort to build a consensus around making a new constitution for the country. The session, which is being held in Abuja, is also with the support of the leadership of the International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance. This was contained in a statement titled, and I quote, "Former President Jonathan hosts leaders of Gambian political parties in Abuja over the new constitution, made available by his media aide Ikechukwu Eze in Abuja." It's read in part, and I quote, "In continuation of his effort to assist with former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is hosting a 3-day brainstorming session with leaders of the country's main political parties in Abuja." He further said Dr. Jonathan has been supporting the country's ongoing constitutional review process to forge a workable national consensus since December 2020. Jonathan meets 15 Gambian party leaders in Abuja.
Troops, Boko Haram in Unimade gone dual. There were heavy explosions and a gun duel between Boko Haram insurgents and the security operatives in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, on Tuesday. No fewer than 10 people were feared killed in the attack, which left about 47 injured. The insurgents tried to launch an attack on the University of Maiduguri through the northern eastern side despite military trenches around the institution. Residents said the attack created the tension in Mari and consistent settlements which shared a fence with the university. Another source said that the specialist hospital in Maiduguri said about 18 people were injured, while those in critical conditions have been transferred to another University of the Maiduguri teaching hospitals. Troops Boko Haram in Unimate gun duel, that's taken from the Nation newspaper.
Post Burate ex-service chiefs to neighboring countries, says Lawan. The Senate President Ahmed Lawan has urged President Muhammadu Buhari to post former service chiefs to neighboring countries as ambassadors. Lawan stated this after the Senate at plenary confirmed the ex-service chiefs as ambassadors designate. The former service chiefs confirmed are General Abayomi Olonishokin retired from Ekiti, Lieutenant General Tuko Burate from Borno, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete from Cross River, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar from Bauchi, and Air Vice Marshal Mohammed Usman from Kano. The Senate President advised the executive to deploy them to countries where the experiences of former military officers would be required. Lawan said, and I quote, "Our appeal to the executive is to make sure that we utilize their experiences as military men to the best, because we should be able to post them to countries where they can be much more useful in their engagement as ambassadors." He said, without prejudice to what the executive will do, the new ambassadors designate should be posted to neighboring countries where we need to fight the Boko Haram insurgency and banditry. He said because of their experience in the field, they should be able to interact very closely and sufficiently to advise and create the atmosphere for working together
or to prevent a repeat of the last October's NSAS protest in the state. Uzodinma explained that the process and the escalation of criminal activities that trail the NSAS protest necessitate the invitation of the military. He particularly said that the situation in Olu axis has gone beyond what it could handle locally. The governor spoke with the reporters after talking with President Muhammadu Buhari at the Aso Rock Presidential Villa in Abuja. It was, however, unclear if the president summoned Uzodinma over his feud and the lawmaker representing Imo State Senatorial District, Owela Rochas Okorocha, as well as the military operation in Olu, or not. Uzodinma, while we invited military to Olu.
And moving over to Kano State, WAEC withholds Kano's 70,000 WASC result over debt. No fewer than 70,000 candidates who sat at the secondary school certificate examination for October-November 2020 in Kano have yet to receive their results. The WAEC in January 2021 released the result of 1,209,992 candidates that took the examination across the country. According to WAEC, 894,101 candidates scored credit in English and mathematics. However, WAEC refused to release the result of more than 70,000 candidates sponsored by the Kano State government following the inability of the government to settle the registration fees of the affected candidates. A reliable source at the NECO headquarters told newsmen in Kano yesterday that the state government had yet to pay their outstanding registration fees running into millions of naira. The source said, and I quote, "The examination body has decided to hold on to the results until when the Kano State government settles the registration fees." He said WAEC has released results of private candidates, but candidates sponsored by the state government will not be released until payment is made. WAEC withholds Kano's 70,000 WASC result over debt.
Moving on to the business news, all to eat $70 in the second quarter. Goldman Sachs Group has raised its price estimate and predicting that Brent will reach $70 a barrel in the second quarter and $75 in the following 3 months, $10 above its previous forecast, according to a note. Consumption will get back to the pre-virus levels at the late July, while output from major producers will remain highly inelastic to the rising prices, the bank said. Brent oil resumed gains as the market assessed the fallout from the big freeze across Texas. Future in London rose back at $63 a barrel yesterday, after faltering at the end of last week as U.S. production slowly resumed following an easing of temperatures. A robust recovery from the COVID-19 outbreaks has pushed prices to the highest settlement in over a year on Wednesday, and Goldman sees the rally accelerating, demanding outspace supply from OPEC, Shell, and Iran, all to hit $70 in the second quarters.
And finally, from me before we go this morning, Miyetti Allah, others berate Autumn for calling Bauchi Governor terror member. The Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Bauchi State, has accused the Benue State Governor, chairman of MACBAN, Sadiq Ahmed, who said this at a press conference yesterday Tuesday at the Nigerian Union of Journalists Secretariat, also berated the Ekiti and Oyo State governors